Welcome to Hot Drama TV. Have you ever witnessed a story so unexpected, so unlikely, that it almost feels like a movie? Imagine a man once mocked for his looks, doubted for his voice, and dismissed as nothing more than an online singer. Now picture that same man standing on the biggest stages in China, holding not one but multiple awards, while millions chant his name. This is not fiction. This is the real journey of Liu Yuning in 2025. From live streams to legendary performances, from ridicule to roaring applause, tonight we uncover how an underdog rewrote the rules of fame, music, and acting. Buckle up, because this is a story you won't forget. The unexpected rise of an underdog. Not so long ago, if you mentioned the name Liu Yuning, many people would laugh or shrug in disbelief. He was once labeled the online singer who will never step onto a real stage, mocked for his unconventional looks, and dismissed as someone who could only survive in the world of live streams. In the brutally competitive Chinese entertainment industry, where appearances and background connections often determine success, Liu Yuning seemed destined to remain an outsider. But destiny has a strange sense of humor. Fast forward to 2025, and Liu Yuning is no longer standing outside the spotlight, he is commanding it. In the span of just a few months, he has walked onto the grandest stages, accepted trophies in front of industry elites, and forced critics to reconsider their words. What makes his story even more fascinating is not just that he's winning awards, but that he's winning them across two different arenas: music and acting. For the fans who have followed him since his earliest days, this feels like a fairy tale come true. For skeptics, it raises an uncomfortable question. How did a man once called unworthy transform into the most talked about name in Chinese entertainment? Is this simply a lucky wave of hype? Or are we witnessing the dawn of a new era? An era that belongs to Liu Yuning? The night of triumph at TMEA 2025. The answer began to take shape on one unforgettable night in August, the Tencent Music Entertainment Awards. As the auditorium lights dimmed and anticipation filled the air, the announcer called out the winner of Most Influential All-Round Singer of the Year. The name that echoed across the hall was none other than Liu Yuning. The audience erupted. Some fans screamed with pride, others cried tears of joy, while industry insiders exchanged surprised glances. This wasn't just a trophy, it was vindication. For years, people doubted his ability to truly stand among established musicians. But at TMEA 2025, Liu Yuning didn't just stand among them. He stood above. And the surprises didn't end there. His song Sure, an original soundtrack for a television drama, went on to win annual OST Single of the Year. In one night, Liu Yuning pulled off a rare double victory, claiming titles in both general artistry and soundtrack performance. The image of him bowing deeply, eyes glistening as he thanked his fans and the composers, spread like wildfire across Weibo. In that moment, he wasn't just a singer. He was a storyteller with a voice strong enough to capture the hearts of millions. But a question began to stir among critics. How could someone who once sang on the streets of live stream platforms conquer the highest tiers of music so suddenly? Was this raw talent finally being recognized, or had fan-driven power rewritten the rules of success? Eastern Wind and Cloud Awards, the People's King. As if one victory wasn't enough, the very next day brought another thunderclap. At the 32nd Eastern Wind and Cloud Music Awards in Shanghai, Liu Yuning's name was once again called to the stage, this time for the coveted title of Most Popular Male Singer. The symbolism was impossible to ignore. If TMEA represented industry recognition, then Eastern Wind and Cloud embodied the voice of the people. And the people had spoken loud and clear. Liu Yuning was their star. His fandom, often described as one of the most passionate and well-organized in China, had turned the award into a coronation. For many, this confirmed what they already believed, that Liu Yuning is not just a talented performer, but a cultural phenomenon. He has become a new kind of celebrity, one whose success isn't built solely on record labels or marketing campaigns, but on the direct bond between artist and audience. Social media platforms and live stream stages had been his training ground, and now those very skills had carried him into mainstream dominance. Yet this triumph also sparked unease. Some critics argued that popularity is not the same as artistry. Could Liu Yuning's fame endure without the constant fuel of fandom? Or would the same voices that lifted him to the throne be the ones to dethrone him when the wind shifted? Once again, curiosity deepened. Is Liu Yuning truly redefining what it means to be a singer in the digital age, or is he simply riding the wave of a fleeting craze? Breaking through the screen, the actor's gamble. But Liu Yuning wasn't satisfied with music alone. His ambition spilled into acting, and in March 2025, he stunned audiences at the Shanghai Television Quality Festival by winning the award for Breakthrough Performance Actor of the Year. The recognition came for his role in the story of Pearl Girl, a performance that proved he could carry not just a melody, but a storyline. For Liu Yuning, the award was more than just a trophy, it was a dream realized. Just a year earlier, he had spoken of wanting to act in a drama that would air on a prestigious channel, accompanied by his own soundtrack. Now, that vision had leapt from imagination into reality. Yet the applause was not unanimous. Esteemed director Wang Jing bluntly rated his acting a 6 out of 10, dismissing it as average. In stark contrast, rising director Guo Hu praised his emotional depth and growth potential. These conflicting opinions only intensified the intrigue around Liu Yuning. Was he genuinely blossoming into a respected actor, or was he merely being rewarded for his popularity as a singer? This tension between praise and skepticism has become the hallmark of his career. Every step forward seems to open a new debate, and every victory leaves audiences torn. Are we watching the birth of a versatile performer, or the clever marketing of a celebrity? The hero of the digital era, or a passing storm? Beyond the awards and controversies, there is a bigger story at play. Liu Yuning has become a symbol of something larger than himself, the rise of digital stardom. His career embodies the new equation of fame in China, a fusion of talent, technology, and fan loyalty. Projects like the 817 Love Project, organized entirely by fans, have cemented his place not just as a performer, but as a cultural touchstone. Supporters see him as proof that persistence, authenticity, and fan-driven energy can triumph over elitism. Detractors warn that such fame is fragile, built on trends and hashtags that could disappear overnight. And somewhere between these extremes stands Liu Yuning himself, carrying the weight of expectation and the hope of a generation that believes anyone, no matter their background, can rise. So where does his story go from here? Will Liu Yuning evolve into a legendary artist whose work transcends the moment? Or will he fade into the long list of names who shined brightly for a season and vanished with the tide? The truth is, nobody knows. But one thing is undeniable. In 2025, Liu Yuning has become impossible to ignore. His journey is no longer just about one man. It's about the changing face of entertainment, and the question that lingers in everyone's mind. Is Liu Yuning the future, or merely the present? And there you have it, the rise of Liu Yuning, from an underestimated outsider to one of the most awarded and talked about stars of 2025. But the story isn't over. Will his fan-driven empire continue to grow stronger, or will the tides of fame turn against him? Is Liu Yuning destined to be a timeless legend, or just a fleeting phenomenon? Only time will tell. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. And if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more stories from the world of entertainment, and share this with a friend who needs some inspiration. Until next time, keep believing in the impossible, because sometimes the underdog really does win.